How to communicate with spirit. This video comes by way of a client as well as a YouTuber. And so I'm going to share my story about when I was in fundamental Christianity and going through some equipping to help me to communicate or to hear the voice of God. When I was in fundamental Christianity, I was heavily in it, first of all, and I operated strongly in what they call the office of a prophet. Now, the office of a prophet and a psychic and a medium, they tap into the same energy. And I know someone is going to argue that and say, no, one is dark and one is light. So you're creating duality. And I'm not creating duality in this video. I'm sharing my thoughts, and these are strictly my thoughts only. And so I remember being in fundamental Christianity, and our church, we had a prophet to come in to do some training or some equipment to help our members at that time to learn how to hear the voice of God or the voice of spirit and to communicate with the spirit. And we did that for a while because we wanted them to be equipped. And that is exactly what I'm doing here today. That's the purpose of this video, is so that you can understand how to communicate with spirit and how spirit communicates with you or through you. Okay. So I can recall back when I was a child and I had several prophetic insights or clairvoyance insights and wisdom given to me by the divine. One incident that I can remember is when I was at the age of 13, my aunt, who was pregnant with twins, I would often place my hand on her tummy. And one day I placed my hand on her stomach. I did that, and I heard and I saw clairvoyantly images and a vision of the two twins that she was having. We knew that she was having twins, but we didn't know whether or not it was a girl or a boy. And I remember as I placed my hand on her stomach, it seemed like this screen came down before me, and I saw the faces of these two babies. And I shared with her, I said, the girl is going to be lighter and she's going to weigh more than the boy. She's eating up most of the food, and the boy is going to be darker and he's going to be smaller. It's going to be a darker complexion. He's going to be smaller than the girl. And sure enough, that's exactly how both of those babies were born, just as vividly as I saw it. And as a matter of fact, the day she went in labor, I recall telling her, I smell a baby. Now, I'm 13 years old. I don't know what a baby smell like. I don't know what being in labor smell like, but I knew I smelled the baby, the scent of someone just freshly having delivered a child. And I shared that with her. And by midnight, somewhere along that time, she went in labor exactly as I was sharing with her. And so I want you to know that the gift that you have, you've had it since you were a child. And if you were in fundamental Christianity like I was, you probably was told that your gift was not from God, that it was of the devil, and that it's from the dark side, and all the different things that come along with that. But I want to inspire you or to encourage you that you are not hearing from the devil, that it is from God, and that communicating with spirit is a deeply sacred act that transcends the physical and connects you with the universal energy of the divine. It is not reserved for a selected few. There are no special people. It is a process that aligns your vibration and your consciousness. You're going to have to open your consciousness because it involves you aligning your vibration and opening up your consciousness to access higher realms where awareness and guidance resides. Anyone can communicate with spirit. Anyone can. Even a baby can. You know, in the Bible, they talked about how the donkey began to talk to Balaam. So everything speaks to us. Everything communicates with us. Everything has the frequency. We know we some people like to call it the spirit of God. Spirit is also translated into frequency. Everything has the frequency or energy of God in it. The nature of spirit communication is exactly that, all its energy. Everything in the universe operates off a dynamic flow of energy. So communication requires you to raise your vibration to meet the frequency of spirit. It's not going to come down to meet you. You're going to have to raise your vibration in order to meet it, because there's a veil that's separating this physical and the spiritual world. And that veil is very thin, especially during moments of stillness, when you're still or you have a heightened awareness. Spirit is always present. And I want you to know that. You may feel like you are alone, that you're by yourself, but spirit is there. Spirit is always present with you. But your perception must be tuned in, tapped in, turned on in order to detect its presence. There's a universal oneness. And from the metaphysical lens, you have to understand that we are one with everything. You are a fragment of divine consciousness. And spirit communication is not about reaching out externally to something, but it's about reconnecting with you. The universe is within you, the universal wisdom that flows within you from within. Now, there are several steps that you can use to communicate with spirit, and we're going to talk about a few of those today. And number one is to purify and align your energy. Dense, low-frequency emotions such as fear, doubt, unbelief, anger, frustration, rage, all of these things can block communication, especially fear and doubt. I remember when I was in fundamental Christianity, I started to doubt my gift because I spoke with the elder in the church, and the elder told me, oh, that's not of God. There are no prophets. People are not prophesied. People are not hearing from God like that. And God only speaks through you, through the Bible. That you're not getting this from God, is from another source. You know, they use the word strange fire. And so for a long time, I doubted that what I was hearing was from the spirit. I had a spirit of trepidatiousness. It was a strong frequency of trepidatiousness too, to where I was afraid to say anything because I allowed someone who did not believe to convince me and to change my mind about who I was. See, when I was a child, I just spoke what I was hearing, what I felt, the images that I saw. I just shared it. I didn't have time to second guess, and there was no one that was around me to tell me otherwise. I didn't know that it was from the spirit world. I had no idea that what I was getting was from the spirit world. I was just sharing the things that were coming to me. But when I got over into fundamental Christianity, that's where the doubt, that's where the person who was in their ignorance began to program me to believe and to disbelieve and to doubt the gift that I came into this earth with. And so how I went about unblocking my ability to communicate was through cleaning my aura field and the environment, my home, my space, to create an inviting space for the spirit to dwell in. And so I did this by performing energy cleansing rituals such as sage. I used Palo Santos, sound frequencies like 432 megahertz. I even envision my energy centers, my chakras aligning, and I saw them glowing extremely bright. And these are the things that I did to help to cleanse my energy field. You're going to have to shift into a higher vibrational state. Spirit operates on a frequency of love. Love is one of the highest vibrational frequencies that we can vibrate on. Spirit operates also on light and on peace. Raising your vibration through joy, having gratitude, being grateful for what the spirit shows you, for the things that you are allowed to hear and feel and to see, helps open you up to receive more. And you also must have time where you're spending it meditating, because meditating and joy and gratitude, all of these things help to bridge the gap. And you can engage in practices such as deep breathing or mindfulness meditation. And then also to surround yourself with high vibrational people and start consuming high vibrational fruit, such as the darker fruit. And then you can also surround yourself with high vibrational tools such as the amethyst. I have an amethyst mattress that I lay on. You can also use clear quartz. You can use music tuned to healing frequencies. There are several different things that you can use to keep your vibration high and also to establish a sacred connection. In order to do this, you're going to have to invoke the spirit by beginning with intentions and respect. You're going to have to set clear intentions for you wanting to hear for the spirit. If you have a client or if it's for yourself, set intentions for why you want to hear. Then you're going to have to respect the spirit world. The spirit world is more real than this physical world. It's called the causal world, or the world that is real, that is alive, and that's active. It deserves respect. This is nothing that you play with. It's not a game for me. I take this very seriously when I'm hearing, when I'm channeling in to hear what someone, to get the message to communicate with someone. And when you set clear intentions and you have respect for the spirit world, it's like an act. It is an act that signals your readiness to communicate on higher realms. And you do this by calling upon spirit guides. You call your ancestors, your higher self, or your evolved self. You can say certain things out loud. I'm going to give you an example that you can say out loud, or if you want to say this in your mind, you can say it in your mind. But if you speak it out loud or in your mind, ask your spirit guides to join you in love and light. Here's an example. I invite spirit to join me in love and light right now. And then open your heart and mind to divine guidance and wisdom. Number 4, activate your inner senses. Spirit communicates through intuitive senses, such as, and we often call these the clairs, such as clairvoyance, which is images or visions, clairaudience, which is words, sounds, or inner voice, clairsentience, which is feelings or sensation, claircognizance, which is just this knowing that you have. You can't even explain it. Like, I just know this. I know this is going to happen, and can't nobody tell me anything different. Such as with my aunt and the babies. I knew what I was feeling, but I did not know how to articulate how I knew. I just knew this was what's going to happen. These babies are going to look like this. And I even knew one baby was on this side and the other baby was on that side. And I would tell her, this baby's on this side and that baby's on that side. I couldn't explain that to you, how I knew. I just knew. There's certain things that just come to you, and you know that you know that you know. You know, in religion, they call it having an inner knowing, or your knower. You just know certain things. Like, you can know certain things about certain people. And they ask you, well, how did you know that about me? I can't explain it to you. I just know it. I just know these things. And you can practice knowing. You can practice being a clairvoyant. You can practice being one who can have clairsentience, the feeling and the sensation, by closing your eyes and focus on what arises, what comes up at that moment for you. You don't have to force something to come up. This is not a forcing, but this is really more of just relaxing and allowing and aligning yourself. And what you're going to hear is going to be very subtle. It's going to be a very subtle sign. It's not going to be loud and boisterous. It's going to be very subtle signs. It's going to be very subtle thoughts. It's going to be very subtle emotions. And then use spiritual tools. You can use tools such as the tarot, pendulums, or automatic writings. I like to do writings because this is, for me, it's an extension of my intuitive energy, and it helps me to decode the spirit messages, just like the tarot cards for some people and the pendulum for some people. Those things help them to decode the spirit messages. Whatever method works best for you, choose a method that resonates with you, and trust the energy flow and the guidance revealed through those tools. Trust and discern that the messages that are coming are exactly what the spirit is speaking to you, because spirit speaks in a subtle, symbiotic ways. You can go outside and something will fly past you and the spirit began to speak. Trust that what you're hearing is exactly what the spirit is speaking. Your role is not to interpret the signs or even overthinking. I remember I started to overthink my gift. I started to overthink the messages that were given to me because of being in fundamental Christianity. And the moment I started to deconstruct myself from fundamental Christianity, my gift seemed like it was hiding. When I started on my journey of awakening, just just everything seemed like it just opened up wide open for me. And hearing, seeing, feeling the images, the vision, the sensations, all of it was just has been heightened. And I don't overthink it. When I was a child, I didn't overthink the things that came to me. I just spoke it. I said it, I dreamt it, I said it out loud. I felt it. It wasn't a matter of overthinking. And now you have to get to a place, because that is your role when the Spirit gives you a message. Your role is to interpret these signs without overthinking. How you can go about doing that is just start by journaling. Journal what you receive, whether it's a word or words. It can be images. You can journal your emotions. And over time, the more you do it, the more you practice, the patterns and the clarity of that, whatever it is you're getting will begin to emerge. It'll be like just water just rolling off a duck's back. It'll be like words that are just like the words I'm speaking. It will come to you just as quickly and just as easy as that. You have to trust that the Spirit messages are always in alignment with your highest good. There is nothing evil about hearing and speaking and communicating with Spirit. As I was told as a young person that was coming into fundamental Christianity, that what I was hearing was not good, it was evil, it was of the devil. There is nothing evil or of the devil about what I was hearing, feeling, seeing. None of those things were of the devil. It was just that person was ignorant. They didn't have the capability, perhaps, maybe to tap in and tune in and turn on this energetic flow that wants to flow through mankind so freely. So I want to remind you again, the messages that you get, they are always in alignment. Always. You're with your highest good. You have to know that. And then show gratitude. Gratitude helps strengthen the bond between you and Spirit, and it creates a continuous flow of communication. You don't want the communication to stop. You want to continue to have that flow of communication with you. Practice spending time in gratitude. After you have your sessions, just stop and just say with a simple thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, ancestors. Thank you for that. I'm so grateful for the wisdom and the love that I received today. And here are some things that I want you to remember. And I just don't forget these things because they're very important. Always, always, always remember, Spirit is always listening. Spirit is always listening. No matter if you're standing inside of your head, Spirit is listening. Whatever thoughts you're feeling and thinking about the person that you don't like, Spirit is always listening. Doesn't matter, because Spirit does not sleep. Spirit is always awake and is always listening. Spirit is always aware of your intentions and your desires. So always remember that. Always remember that you are the bridge. Your soul, as a part of the divine, is the perfect conduit for spiritual messages. You are the perfect person to get the spiritual messages for yourself as well as for anybody else that comes along your path on your journey. And trust that the timing is sacred. Trust that Spirit communicates exactly when and how you're ready to receive. Nothing is bad. The timing is always sacred. You're never going to be offbeat. You're never going to be not in sync. When I get messages for people, and just so happens, say for an example, I can sit and I'll be just minding my own business. I'll get a thought about a person. The person will come to mind and I'll get a whole message for them. Sometimes I call them right away. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I just speak it out loud because there's no distance between the spirit world. There's no different distance between me and that person spiritually because we are one. And then there are times that I do call that person, say, hey, how are you doing? And I began to share what was given to me. I had a friend who wanted me to channel a message for her. At one time, it was for her grandmother or her ancestral, and then one time it was for from her father. And I began to give the messages and things that I was saying in there. I had no idea about any of the things that were shared, especially with her dad. It was about some coins. I'm not going to go into detail because she may watch this, but it was about some coins, and it was everything that I was sharing with her was spot on. And then the things that I was getting about her grandmother, some things she did not know, and I did not know either, but yet she went and confirmed it, and she came back to me and she said everything that I said was spot on. You're going to have to trust that you are the bridge. Timing is perfect, that you're not off. that your gift is good. It's good, and it's for your highest good, and it's for the highest good of whomever it is a receiver. Spirit communication is not about forcing something to happen, forcing a connection, forcing an alignment. It's about cultivating the openness, the oneness that you already have with spirit. You in the spirit of one. You came here as one with the spirit. You are not a sinner. I know we've been told that we were saying that there is nothing good that can come from mankind, but man came here good already. You were good. You're going to have to trust that your good self is in alignment with the source, the creator of the universe, the infinite intelligence, and that when you practice and have patience with yourself, knowing that you can attune yourself to the subtle languages of the divine. Because again, it's not going to be loud and obnoxious and boisterous. It's going to be very subtle. The languages are going to be so subtle, and that you have the ability to access profound wisdom that guides your spiritual evolution. This is about helping you on your path moving forward, to guide you on your spiritual evolutionary journey. Your ability to communicate with spirit helps you to do exactly that, to help guide you. Now, again, if someone comes to you and wants you to give them wisdom and insight and help them to align, just like I do with a lot of my clients that come to me, they come to me for clairvoyance. They come to me to give them wisdom and insight intuitively for soul reconnection. Whatever it is that they want, I tune in and I tap in to give them exactly what they want. Trust your gift, trust your ability to do exactly the same. Because again, this is not for a selected few people. This is anybody can communicate with the spirit, and the spirit wants to communicate with you. And that's what you need to know. Spirit wants to communicate with you. Spirit favors you. Spirit knows that you're someone that it can trust with the ability to hear. You have to know that spirit wants to communicate with you as well, and continue to practice and continue to be patient. So I hope this video resonates with you. I want you to share your journey on your path of learning how to communicate with spirit in the comment section of this video. I also want you to remember to continue to live your life in love and to live your dream out loud. And always, always, always to remember who you are. Till the next time, I'm Angela E. Thank you so much for tuning in. Bye.